Hello and welcome to the fourth installment of Is It Worth My Time? My name is Tex Dixigas and I'm going to show you some Velvet Underground books and maybe try to show you if they're worth your time and your money. Here's one that's kind of like, sounds like you might not want it or not. It depends on how hardcore a Lou Reed fan you are. Everybody that's into Lou Reed, like in a big way, knows that he was really into Tai Chi. And he made music for it. He was on magazines. He was really into it. And this book sounds like it would be about just his Tai Chi. This is the German version. Says mein Tai Chi, my Tai Chi, and but it's not. It's wonderful. It is about his Tai Chi, but there's so much other stuff in it that even if you're not into his Tai Chi, I think it's going to be a book well worth your time. Me personally, I like the Hudson River CD that's coming out on LP now. I think I wrote a real good review about it like a long time ago. I think parts of it, a little cheesy Euro techno, which was back then, okay. But some of it is like Metal Machine Music Part 2, taken also the time later that it appeared into account. It's really good, and that's part of his Tai Chi. But also, I think it's interesting to see how spiritual Lou Reed was, because there's this one side of Lou Reed that's like all this crazy New York factory and all these drugs, and then later he just became this total opposite. But for a reason, because it's been there for a long time. You hear his sister talking, saying, hey, we really were into martial arts. We shared movies. And it's an interesting book. So let's get straight, cut to the chase, as they would say. You think you open this and it's going to be all about Lou Reed. But the real interesting, his Tai Chi, the real interesting stuff to everybody, let's just say everybody, is these crazy ass photos of Lou Reed doing his stuff, but also who is telling you what. Let's see. Again, this is German. I will get this in English because it's just my cup of tea and it's closer to the source. Let's see. It's like a lot of people that did Tai Chi with him, friends, that you do or do not know. I don't know a lot of these people. I'm really into Lou Reed, but I never got his telephone book, so I don't know these people. And I almost did. His longest martial art friend. And there's a lot of great photos in here, like regular stuff, like you've seen Mick Rock. But so, all right, I think this is already it here. Mira Weiner, this is his sister, Jonathan Richman, and they're all telling you something very, unique, like you might have never heard. Like she says, we really loved Bruce Lee and stuff like this. Jonathan Richman says, for a while, Lou Reed just was real, talked to him and then, gave him some advice, don't do drugs. And then he stopped talking to him. And then 20 years later, he would sit next to him and say, I'm proud of you for your music. And I know it means a lot to you. So Lou Reed just took a break from Jonathan Richman for no reason whatsoever. Sylvia Reed, his second wife, fantastic woman. She did a lot of the design for Mick Rock, lots of photos. Sharon Felder, she was it always says, I'm reading this. I didn't know, daughter of the songwriter Doc Pomus. And Lou Reed, the Doc Pomus tribute, was a big fan of his. He was the doo-wop rock and roll guy. And he had some of the Kung Fu movies. I don't have this one. I'm not sure if Lou Reed's in it. But I have some that are so crazy. He's got this golden jacket on. These photos are just look how old this is by the haircut. You can tell. And it shows you what he did, some of his trainers. So it's real interesting because it's not just like a story or something. It's straight from the horse's mouth, from the people that were there with him. And I think it's fantastic. It's Bob Ezrin, and it's what you call this? It's like a easy read. It's kind of like Please Kill Me. There's always these short little things, and it's finished. You can just take this, read 5 pages, 2 page, 1 page. His personal assistants write something. Later, there's some musicians in there like Chuck Hammer. We'll get to it. A lot of personal assistants, people that know him much better than any of us, unless you are one of them. And that know him much better than the press that Lou Reed despised so much. Iggy Pop writes something about it. He does, a lot of this stuff too these days. Very healthy man. Who would have thought so ever? And I think it's a great book. You have to have a certain Lou Reed interest, but you don't have to have a Lou Reed Tai Chi. I got this. This. I think these are great photos. This is a man, that just come around and decided to do something else. John Cale doesn't want to look back on his old stuff. He just wants to be in and now. So this Fernando Santos, top man, you know it, I know it, we know it, everybody knows it. It's a great book. Even if you do not care about Rob Norris, about his Tai Chi stuff. So very entertaining, is that the correct word maybe? And well worth your time. The photos are super, some crazy old stuff, some new stuff. Hal Wilner will be missed. Julian Schnabel. Look at these great pictures with the sword. Somewhere it says that he traveled with his weapons. I was going like Robert Wilson. I was going like, wow, how did he get this crap through customs? His aunt, Lars Ulrich from Metallica, Kirk Hammett. Everybody's saying something, like, has something nice and good to say about him. And stuff Anthony or Arnoni, now he's called. And like I said, this is something that even if you thought like, he's not my Chuck Hammer, fantastic man, Tony Thunder Smith, I got signed drums by him. And if you didn't think this was gonna be something for you, I think it is. Damn, I want this poster right now. So somebody hook me up with some Lou Reed Kung Fu posters, please. Thank you very much.